to the latest vlog. It is 1st of October today. It's Tuesday night. We've had a busy couple of weeks at the fishery. It's been new section of water fencing actually where I'm fishing. Pegs 11 and 12. This bank was quite tight. You can see it's quite steep over here. So I put another 30 metres up, just like we showed you in the last vlog over the other side, behind peg 5. So I put another 30 metres up and boarded off the bottom of it, restoned it, widened the bank out a little bit, just to give it a little bit more space for bivvies and be able to walk past a bit more comfortably, which worked out quite nicely. I've also been last weekend, last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we started our new stock pond. We're very lucky we got that finished on Saturday night before the rain came, and that's all finished up now, just waiting on it filling. A lot of landscaping to do around it, but the amount of rain we've had in the last few days, it's just no chance of working at that for a while. But it's dug, and we'll just have to wait until it dries up again, whether that be sometime before the winter or in the spring, it'll not matter. We'll get it done at some point. But the lake's been fishing well the last couple of weeks. Some good fish. Love this time of year. It's big fish time of year. They're at their maximum weights. They really are. Lovely autumn colours as well. Fish I had done a night a fortnight ago with Davey. Bit of a social evening. I didn't bother doing any filming. The fish 13.5 pound that I had a month previous at 12. I actually showed it in one of the vlogs. Can't remember which one. I'll put a description below, or a link below. But now I had it. I showed pictures of it coming up through the years. I'll say I had it on the 12th of August at 12 pound exactly, and it was 13.5, which was a fortnight ago, which was towards the end of September. So in just over a month, it has put on 1.5 pounds, which is phenomenal growth. It just shows all that hard work, nettings in the winter, thinning out, feeding them every night. All that money's worth of pellet they get. I'll say looking after our fish is paying off. We've also had a 14.6 out this week. Again, cracking fish, lovely mirror, which is one of the biggest fish to come out for a few years. So it's all going the right direction. But everything's set up. Rods is just out. It's getting on sort of 5 o'clock now, so I'm not long down. We'll see what the evening produces. I've had one run which didn't come down. The fish was on for maybe 5 seconds and popped the hook. Just wasn't hooked properly, I doubt. But that's a good sign. They're obviously feeding. Bit of fizzing starting to happen. Wind's dropped away a little bit. So we shall see what the evening brings. A few new gadgets to show you too that I've bought, and we'll have a look at those. But I'll go here and tie a few PVA bags up, get some bait out, and I'll chat to you in a bit. I get quite a lot of you asking me about our boilie ranges at the fish that we do. We do the two. We do plum and squid and scopex from kipper baits in both 14 mil and 18 mil. We only stick to the two at the fishery. Mainly, these are good quality baits. I know the stuff that's going into these is top notch. We know what we're getting. If you've too many varieties, you find that one sells all the time and one's popular and nobody else wants the other time, and you're left with one and they sit too long, so on and so forth. So we stick to the two. But there's numerous things you can do to these, you know, to make them unique. You know, obviously most people here are using our baits, but so there's lots of things you can do. Simply topping them off with a yellow pop-up, as I've done here. All I do is trim a wee bit off and flatten both sides of the boilie and the pop-up, just to sit nice and snug. And that's like a little snowman presentation, just sits in the bottom. You can see, like so, with the boilie sitting up, one above the other. Gives it a wee bit of buoyancy too. Again, simply cutting them in half and putting them on back to back like that. Again, just making it a little bit different, make it unique. Soaking them in liquids. You don't have to use the matching liquid. We do use plum and squid and scopex or scopex liquid as such. But so you can use whatever flavour you want really. Air dry them for a few days in the garage, hang them up in the garage, let the air get through them, let them go rock hard, and then rehydrate them with a bit of liquid. Again, possibilities are endless really. So it's just makes your bait unique, makes you different from the rest of the anglers in the lake. So you can use any colour, pop up, whatever you wish. The other things are pellets. These are feed pellets, what we feed the fish on. 6mm and 12mm from BP Milne. This is the cereal supplement we use in the winter time from here on. Water temperatures start to drop down. Summertime there we would have had a slightly higher oil content pellet, higher protein pellet as such, from the same company, but this time of year now that the water temperatures drop, we'll go back to the cereal pellet, the supplement one. But again, unfortunately these don't bind just quite as well as the 2mm fish meal pellets you would get that we do in the shop for the method feeder as such, but they break down very quick and like a carpet, like a ground bait feed in the bottom. This is the whole purpose of these, to break down quick so that the fish are rooting about the bottom, moving the silt, keeping that bottom stirred up, which is better for water quality, better for everything. But again, you can make these unique. You could soak them in any sort of liquid. Again, if it's a sort of oil-based liquid, it's better. It doesn't break them down as quick. Not really much use as a hook bait, to be fair, but as a good as a feed. And say you can do what you want with them. You could crush them up, just put them in a PVA bag, make them unique. We sell these in the shop. We are pushing more and more away from the Scranton pellet. Unfortunately, it's getting very hard to get. Scranton's pulled out of the UK, so we're now sourcing it from France. And again, the logistics of that just isn't great. But we shall see what as time goes on. One thing I do at this time of year when I'm fishing, obviously we're into autumn now, we're into October, we're going to get a lot of leaf litter in the bottom of the lake, a lot of leaves. I actually got myself a new action camera. I'm going to do a little bit of footage in the bottom just to let you see exactly what it does look like in the autumn time and what you are fishing over. But one thing I will do is fish a little PVA bag, just one boilie and a little PVA nugget in there, the foam nuggets. Just slows the rig down through the water. Also means that it's sort of tangle free as such, but I'll just nick that onto the hook. I'll have loads of these tied up. One thing I don't like about PVA is it makes you lazy. When you cast out, and if you haven't hit that spot, you don't want to go into an hour bag. I'll do right later, it's close enough. No, it never is. You want to get it right on the spot. So if you loads of these tied up, you can tie 20 of these up in literally 10 minutes. So it's just one boilie and a PVA nugget. What I do, Johnny, most of the time is crush that boilie once it's tied up, and that just tightens the bag once you've crushed that, and also releases a lot more flavour around your hook bait. And I say also then you have the visual indicator that piece of PVA foam pops to the surface. So you've now got a visual, and it allows you somewhere to bait up, a marker to bait up to, plus you know that it's not buried in leaves, not buried in twigs. If you think there's a lot of leaf litter where you're fishing, for example down the margins, so to move that camera around there a little bit, the sun has got very strong, but as I say, if you're fishing down the margins and you want to, you think there's going to be a lot of leaves, a lot of junk down the margins, you know, twigs and bits and pieces, literally 2 PVA nuggets, that's it. Put your hook in between them, sitting up against them like so, and then if you wet one of them and stick it on the other side, and you're basically sandwiching your hook in between, squeeze them together, that's it. You can drop that down in the margins. If you really dampen them and really squeeze them tight, they will cast out too, but it's quite useful for, say, down the margins. Useful at all times of year. It gives you that really nice marker, knows that everything's landed nicely, but especially say in the autumn time. But hopefully that'll help you out a little bit. Well, the nights are certainly starting to draw in. It's just after 7 on already. Starting to get dark. Winds dropped away. Lake went flat calm apart from the aerator which I've run on. Little leaf litter at the minute in the lake, as we were talking about earlier, starting to break down. Definitely affects the oxygen levels a bit, so just keep that running. for a few hours in the evening, just to keep it topped up. But a few new gadgets this week. As you've seen in that little bit underwater footage of the rig foam, got myself a little camera, underwater camera. It's actually just a little action camera. Comes with that casing. It's from Kit Fishing. Yeah, Kit Fishing. You can see it in the back there. Yeah, seems to be a good bit of kit. So I've done that a little bit of filming with it earlier, but it's something we'll play about with as time goes on. But so far so good. Another thing we got this week was a new catapult. This is the Avid carp one. One I hadn't saw before, to be honest. One of the members had one and he kindly let me to try out for a few days. I was impressed. Doesn't tangle up, twist up the way some of them do. Nothing worse than every time you get into a rhythm of catapulting boilies out or pellets or whatever and it starts to twist up. So that's the Avid carp one. It says 2 different styles. I think there's a cloth pouch as well, like a multi-pouch. This is the boilie one, but so far so good. Again, seems to have a good bit of kit, so we'll keep trying that. It's pretty accurate too, so we'll see how that one goes. The other thing I got was this little gadget from Enterprisetackle. This is called the plumbezee. Basically what it is it's a bit like a Polaris float. It's for getting the depth of the lake. Basically drop that in, drop the lid in, and the float rises to the top. When you retrieve, the float locks in the line. You can see the line just goes through it at 3 different eyelets. It's the Enterprisetackle called the plumbezee. Definitely for zig fishing or even surface fishing, fishing over depth zig, or even just simple waggler setup. Rather than starting plumbing up for ages trying to set your depth, drop this in, reel it in at your depth. So if we can demonstrate it here now on the edge. Let's see. Simply a case of drop it down in the margins. The float rises to the surface. Once you bring that in, your depth set. Let's see. So it's your lid, that locked on the line there. So then if I wanted to set a zig up, all I'd simply do is measure my zig up against that from the lid, say up to the float, and that would be our depth for the surface. And where we wanted to fish that zig at half depth or 2 foot or whatever, we could work it off that. But say plumbezee from Enterprisetackle, you get them on eBay. I think that one's that's the smaller one. $3.99. Can't be bad that. Say a very simple little gadget, but definitely a good little piece of kit and very useful. So it's just simply as I showed you. Literally drop it in the margins, float comes to the top, and once you lift, that's it, locked in the line, and that's your depth. Definitely say if you're in the market for something like that, it's well worth a look. For the price of it, it's definitely worth having in your tackle box. Well, to say the nature's certainly starting to draw in. Autumn is well underway, and I think we're going to get the first maybe touch of frost tonight. Weather forecast gives us to get very cold, but I'll be tucked up in there. I'm not worrying too much about it. We've had a couple of fish so far, small common, and then that common probably pushing 11 pound, 10 anyway, didn't weigh it, but somewhere around that. Smaller one came off the back of the island, and the bigger one actually came from open water. I saw a patch of fizzing out here in the shadow of that tree, so I put a rod on it, a few boilies, and that produced the bigger fish. So one back out there again. There's one up just over here. So we shall see what the rest of the evening brings. If we get any more, I'll let you see, and if not, we shall chat to you in the morning. Morning. Lovely autumnal morning today. We had a few fish last night. A couple of lovely skilly ones. A few smaller commons. Up to about, I think the last fish was about 4 o'clock. And to be honest, I left the rods in there, and the last fish I didn't put it back out. Put the head down for a couple of hours. It was cool last night, not as cold as I thought it was going to be, as the forecast gave, but it was definitely cool. But it's a lovely morning. It's going to be a beautiful day. We'll go now and do the rounds as normal. So it's fished well last night. Most of those fish came actually in the open water, out somewhere about here. I was showing you yesterday I was fishing. I think I only had one more off the island, but all the fish came in the open water. It's a good average stamp. Right here and switch this radar off. Not much showing from what I've got up there. It's been quiet. A lot of fish topping through the night now, but say from sort of daylight broke, I haven't heard very much. That was the peg we done up a few weeks ago. The two we made into one. All the grass has come nicely on it. You'd hardly even know there'd been a peg there. Reeds are starting to grow back. Nature's not long reclaiming it. Plenty of oxygen going in there, as you can see. Say all the leaf litter at the minute, levels are up and down a little bit, so I'm just leaving the pump running. Actually just left it on all night last night, so there wasn't much of a breeze. Right, I'm gonna go let the chickens out, take it down their own road, and I shall chat to you in a bit. Little ghost carp. It is. That's a nice one. You can really see in the water there where they get their name from. That's a cracker. Lovely looking fish. Right, get this boy unhooked. Get him back. Fish in the water, but for the purposes of the video, that fish took off to the lily pads at the back of the island, and I had to put the brakes on it and literally lock it up solid to stop it getting in them. And as you can see, other than where the hooks went in, there's not a mark. No damage, no slippage, nothing. One tiny little hole where my hook has been. Now if that had been a small hook, as in a size 6, or it was a size 6, if that had been a size 12, size 14, something like that, you'd have just ripped a lump out of that fish. Fine wire hooks, no use, which is why we now insist on the bigger hooks. That's a bruiser of a common. That's going to be a big fish someday. So it is, but we'll get this one back. Evening. I managed to get second night. Got a few bits and pieces straight up there. Permission from the boss as usual. So we're going to give it another go tonight. The weather's here. Say it's to be storm to come in tomorrow afternoon. Winds to pick up. It's to be heavy rain, but it gives the night nice and mild. So it's fishing well. There's some cracking fish today. I think I've had 4 if not 5 doubles today. Biggest of them 12-12. Couple other 12s as well. Commons. That would say the mirror 12-12 was the biggest. Cracking fish. Really, really good stomp. But I was showing you that common there with the hook hold. Just shows again why we have rules in place. You know, that fish is say headed for the lily pads out here, and I really had to put the brakes on it. Basically locked up solid and walked backwards with the rod to turn that fish and getting around there. You know, even if the lily pads weren't there, I would have went round the corner of the island. Neither scenario was good, which is why I say we have them rules about no smaller than a 12. And to be honest, 12 is probably getting too small for the speed of those fish and the strength of them. On size, probably next year we'll make it a no smaller than a 10, to be honest. But you can see that there's sort of heavier gauge hooks, leaves no marks at all, no slippage. Yes, every now and then you can get a wee bit, but that's inevitable. We're putting hooks in fish's mouths, a lump of metal. In reality, you might get an odd little bit of damage, but generally with those bigger, thicker wire hooks, you can hit them and hold them, and you can really turn them if you need to. But I say definitely match hooks is, you know, getting on to 14, 16, so they're no use for carp. Especially the wee 4-inch rigs. They just snap, to be honest. They're not strong enough for fish of that size. Well, there's no point hooking them. You can't land them safely, or you're going to end up damaging them or getting broke, leaving fish trailing line, hooks in their mouths, no use. But say some cracking fish today. Actually, the rod's in there for a couple of hours. I had to go up. The digger man came to lift the digger from digging the stock pond. So there was all the branches were laying up here from when we took this hedge out a few weeks back. You've seen in one of the last vlogs. So I got him to go up and pile those all up and have a bit of a bonfire before he left. So we got all that done. We've done the oxygen checks. Oxygen levels are back up today a little bit, which is good to see. The lake's probably balancing out now after say all the leaf litter. And we've got the radar running again. So it's nice and calm tonight, so I'll have that on for a few hours, but we'll see what the evening brings. If the wind picks up later on, we'll knock it off. There's plenty of fish moving, so I'm feeding a few floaters in there just to see if we could get them going, and I have got a few fish up. Not enough competing yet to even think about trying for them, but I'm going to keep trickling them in, see if we can't entice a few of them to compete for them, and maybe give it a go, bring these rods back in for an hour and give the floaters a go before dark. To say fantastic results today. I'm well impressed with the size of the fish. Say last time last year you'd have been hard pushed to get 1 double a day. Now you're sort of hard pushed if you're not catching a couple of them, to be honest. So they're doing really well. But we'll go here and trickle a few more of these floaters in and see what the rest of the evening produces. Chat to you in a bit. Another cracking morning. Although it's going to be short-lived, I think. I was saying yesterday, this weather's to turn really bad. But lovely start. The nothing through the night at all, to be honest. Not even so much as a bleep. Which was strange. To be honest, if you'd asked me which of the 2 nights would have produced more, I'd have said last night because it was milder. But that's fishing. It don't always do exactly what you think you're going to do. There's lots of fish showing through the night too. There must have been obviously some sort of natural food available. There's actually quite a few fish showing over the spot here. Here you can see a lot of small stuff as well on the surface. There's obviously been some sort of fly hatch or some sort of natural food available. But beautiful sunrise this morning. Doesn't get much prettier than that. But say rods been motionless last night. But hopefully they'll switch on this morning before we pack up and we'll get a few more. But we're going to bring them in here anyway and go and do the rounds as normal. And we shall see what the day produces. We'll say it's definitely going to be an early pack down. Give it a couple of hours, yeah, we'll get a bite of breakfast and bits and pieces, and then we'll pack everything down before the rain comes and everyone gets soaked. Right, chat to you in a bit. Just literally had brought that right hand rod in and just about to lift the left hand one in, and it rattled off. Just shows the where should have shown over that spot was obviously him switching back on. That's a nice little skilly one. And a nice start to the morning. But should have fishes 6-7 pound anyway. We'll slip them straight back. But that's obviously a sign that they're starting to switch back on. And hopefully we'll get a few more for the days out. For any of you who like to do a bit of cooking on the bank like myself, it's the wee ridgemonkey pans, sandwich toaster. It's the new version. It's the Combi Connect, I think it's called. Say it splits in half. Just joins here, the hinges at the back. You can use it as a normal sandwich toaster joined together, or say it's split in half, uses 2 separate pans, which is handy when you're cooking for 2. Not right, Susie? Susie's having some too. Definitely a handy wee job. Still using the ridgemonkey stove that I got at Christmas time last year. It's been well tested and fantastic bit of kit. So very, very handy, especially with a double pan. You can cook everything at once. But say if you enjoy your cooking, which I do, worth a look. That's almost it for another day. Another session over. See the leaves all starting to come off, the wind's picking up. It's feeling rather autumnal this morning, that's for sure. But the fishing has tailed off. Say last night, very quiet. Just that one this morning. Not much showing, not seeing much fizzing. They've either moved in this new wind. It's a new wind this morning. It's coming in the southeasterly. Yesterday it was northwest blowing into this corner here. It's now pushing the opposite way. Whether that has moved the fish or switched them off. East winds generally never a great wind to be fishing in anyway. But I say the weather is due to change here, so we're going to get packed down. But we've had a great session. Say one of my best this year. Lots of nice fish. So the future's certainly looking good. But we'll go get this lot packed away if I can coax Susie out of bed. And unless one of these goes in the next 15 or 20 minutes, that'll be it for this session. And thank you all for watching. Remember, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that wee bell icon, give us a wee like, and we'll chat to you next time.